Meanwhile, human trafficking is one of the most horrific side effects of illegal immigration, and reports of trafficking has been skyrocketing since the implementation of the open border policies of the Biden administration. Our next guest spent 12 years on the Mexican border, some of that undercover, combating human trafficking.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I apologize. He also produced a documentary called about human trafficking called Triple Take.
Every country has its own clique of sex tourists that goes there. Everybody wants to provide you with girls here because that's how they make money.
Let's bring in the founder and CEO, Operation Underground Railroad, Tim Ballard. Tim, you've spent a decade tracking human trafficking. You know, it's a father of two girls. This is the kind of thing that you always have as the nightmare scenario. But I think people need to be educated on what's going on. Tell us what we need to know about human trafficking.
Well, first of all, it's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. And I think for this audience, they should know that the United States, we aren't some peripheral issue in this problem. We are the central demand in many ways. We're the highest consumers of child sex material in the world. We are the top 3 countries for destination countries for human trafficking. In other words, the demand is here. Human traffickers who bring in $32 billion a year, they know that we want children available, meaning the United States, the demand. And so they're taking advantage of our border policies. Once we understand that, we can understand why, over the course of the Biden administration, over 85,000 unaccompanied minors have been given passage into the United States with little to no background checks, and then just given over to whoever the sponsor is of that child. Sometimes the children are brought into the country, or I should say sent into the country, by smugglers, by traffickers, with a name. I've been there, I've seen it. A name and a number, this is the sponsor. And they just call the number, and our taxpayer dollars are basically finishing off the final leg of the human trafficking crime experience, and it's horrifying. We are incentivizing this because it's wide open.
Yeah.
And the only way to stop it is to enforce the border.
Yeah.
That's the compassionate thing for children. Enforce the border, cut off stop incentivizing traffickers.
Tim, again, you're saying that it's incentivized, but also you're saying it's facilitated. So are you saying that this is something that the current administration, the Biden administration, is actually aware of? How are they facilitating it?
Well, I'm not suggesting that they're part of any kind of traffic organization. I think they have their own motives for why they're allowing, millions and millions of people to come into this country. The byproduct, the consequence of that would be that human traffickers who are making millions of dollars every week sending people in, trafficking children, they're incentivized because it's open. Does the administration know? Absolutely. They know the negative externalities, the negative consequences of having an open border includes that children get hurt. And that doesn't seem to weigh in comparison to whatever motive they have to bring millions of illegal immigrants into the country.
Okay.
All right. Well, Tim Ballard, thanks so much for bringing all this to light. Again, a true tragedy, but thanks for your hard work.